What is going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with Dilly Vanilli. Week 13 NFL picks. Week 13 is here, Dilly Vanilli. And Dylan said he's going to do some of his picks on the fly tonight, pulling a Mitch Milani here this week. That might hurt you, bro. I don't know. No prep for Dilly Vanilli might throw him off his game a little bit.
You know, he's not a full-time no preparation. Just a little bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. I'm feeling pretty good because, as you guys know, yesterday I took it to Kevin Durant in game number 2. The Oakland Raiders with the upset over the Denver Broncos. So game number 3 is going to be played on Friday. I hope you guys are enjoying those Madden games. And we today will be determining the game 3 teams. So if you guys want to super chat us today, you guys will be able to, whoever is the highest super chatter donator to the bottom line view, you will not only be able to dictate what team I will be, but also the team Kevin Durant will be. And of course, a jersey is on the line if I do lose to Kevin Durant. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. But I hope you guys enjoy the picks even more. So week 13, we have quite a few good games on the slate this week. We have the Thursday nighter, Saints Cowboys. We have pretty good primetime games, honestly, the Thursday night game. Then we have the Sunday night game, the Chargers Steelers, and even the Monday night game, Redskins and Eagles, isn't too bad either. We also have the Patriots and the Vikings. What else do we have? Browns Texans is pretty interesting. And Ravens Falcons, I think, is pretty interesting. There's a few games here and there. I think most of the big games are being played on prime time, of course, but we do have a couple sneakers in there that we can discuss as well. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Dylan, are you ready to pick?
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. Actually, I want to tell the fans what we got for standings after.
I was just going to say that, so go ahead.
Great. Myself and Mitch, the two guys that are on stream right now, did a very good. It was one of our best weeks here. Both 13-2. So very good stuff there. Kevole, he had a rough patch, man. He's in a rut right now in picks. 9-6 last week, which is not a terrible week, but considering we're getting through this big part of the season and he's fallen down 4 games, that's not very good. So right now, I'm still in the lead, 112, 62-2. Mitch is now 1 game behind here at 111, 63-2. And Kev, a huge hit, 107, 67-2. So he's falling a little behind. He's going to send us picks later on, but I think it's a 2-man race as of right now.
A 2-man race, and the 2 men that are in the race are here today, and we'll see how many we differ on this week. We actually differed on quite a few last week, but we ended up with the same exact record. So that's how things turn out sometimes. Okay, so let's start off with your Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. This is back-to-back Thursday night games for the Dallas Cowboys. They had the Thanksgiving, and now they have a Thursday nighter this week. And honestly, it kind of works out because they have a normal week, but it's from Thursday to Thursday. And now after this week, they're going to have extra preparation for whoever they play next week. So if you're a Cowboys fan, I feel like it does sort of work out in that regard. For the Saints, they've been through quite the course of, tough football games. They've played pretty much all the elite teams in a row, test after test after test. And this week they get probably one of the other hottest teams in the NFL right now, the Dallas Cowboys, and they have to travel to their stadium. So I think the Cowboys are a test that the Saints haven't faced yet. And what I mean by that is that they're going to be probably playing the best defense they've played. I mean, it's up in the air between them and Baltimore, between the 2 best defenses they've played, and both of those games will be played on the road. So we're going to see how that works out. Of course, the Saints aren't as dominant when they're on the road, but they're still dominant and the best team in football. And we're going to see a Dallas team who they've been really capable offensively lately. I'm going to say capable, not great, but capable. They've been able to score some points, create some more big plays. They've been able to establish their running game. And in every victory thus far in this recent stretch, they've been able to get the lead, sustain the lead, and then pretty much dominate from then on out. So we're going to see if they can do that against the Saints. I think it's going to be interesting. Dylan, what do you think in this game as a Cowboys fan? What do you see happening against the Saints?
This is an interesting game. Both teams played last Thursday, so again, full week for both teams. Obviously, the Saints are the hottest team in football right now, 10-1. They played really solid across the board. They put up a whole bunch of points. They go out there and they showcase their talents. Drew Brees threw for 4 touchdowns to guys we've never heard of. Tommy Lee Lewis. I mean, other guys like that. Austin Carr was probably the biggest name, and he's caught 1 touchdown in his NFL career before that game. So, it just showcases. Michael Thomas didn't even have a good game, and they still went out and won that game pretty handily. I think the Saints, again, they're just one of those teams that can win in many different ways. They'll put up a whole lot of points, but they also forced like 3 or 4 fumbles on the Falcons last week. So the defense showed up in a big way in helping them get that victory. For the Cowboys, it was one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game this season, last week against the Redskins. On Thanksgiving, of course, I'm going to chill and watch out, but also seeing how the offense was able to create those good points and getting those good scores when they needed to, especially after a little bit of a rough first half. The second half was a lot better. I'm picking the Saints because I'm not illogical. This is the hottest team in football right now, and I will be cheering for my Cowboys. I'll be at work, unfortunately, so I can't even watch this fucking game. But the key is if the Cowboys want to make this close, is to put the pressure on the offensive line. They're one of the best offensive lines in the game. But if they can put pressure to Marcus Lawrence, talked a whole lot of trash earlier in this week. He wants to put the slack down on the offensive line, and that's confidence. That's something that the Cowboys have to have in order to get this victory is confidence to try to beat the hottest team in football. So they need to do that. Offensively, they need to get Zeke going, of course. He'll have, if he can get 100 rushing yards, something like that, the Cowboys have a chance offensively to get something done. Amari Cooper, capitalize on the hot streak that he's having, 8 catches, 108 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. That was solid enough. And just make sure you're not playing from behind, because if you're playing from behind against the Saints, you're probably not going to win. If they can keep it within a one score margin, this could be somewhat of a game, and it'll be very interesting to see. And by the way, this is the second longest winning streak the Saints have ever had. Their longest streak was when they went 13-0 in 2009. And who defeated that undefeated streak in 2009? The Dallas Cowboys. So, there's chances.
Totally different. 2009.
2009. That was the Super Bowl team, though. That was the team that they got the whole championship, though. So, maybe it could happen. I'm not saying it will. I'm still picking the Saints over my team here, but I will be cheering them on, and I think it should be an interesting game.
Okay. So, for me, I think it will be an interesting game, and I think that the point spread right now is -7 for the Saints. I feel like that's pretty fair. I think that the Cowboys actually give them a different threat, which is why I'm intrigued by the game. A couple of negatives for the Cowboys. I do think that they are at home, so that's good because they don't have to play in New Orleans. Not that their home field is really a huge advantage, but they don't have to go to New Orleans. But the negative there is that this is basically a dome stadium, and it's basically the same environment that the Saints are used to already. The second thing that I don't like for the Cowboys in this game is that the Saints have the best run defense in the NFL. And if the Cowboys are going to win this game and going to win games in general, they need to be able to run the ball and maintain the lead. And that's what I don't like about this game. If the Cowboys can find a way to run the ball with consistency, I think we're talking about a competitive game. But if they can't, then I think this could potentially turn into a Saints blowout, as we've seen throughout the course of the season. They've blown pretty much everybody out. So this game, I'm going to say, is going to be about 27-17 for the Saints. I think it will be pretty competitive, but I just think the Saints offense will be too overpowered. And Drew Brees will do a good job against, the Cowboys secondary and make some plays in that regard. I do think the Cowboys will make some stops, but I just don't think the Cowboys have the passing game that they can really rely on to beat the Saints consistently on defense. So I'm going to go with the Saints to win this game. But like I said, I think it should be a pretty entertaining game overall and an interesting game. Also, not only for the Saints, but for what we want to see in the Cowboys. What are the Cowboys really made of now that they're playing the best team in the NFL? Moving on to the next game, we have the Ravens at the Atlanta Falcons. And this is, Dilly Vanilli, my quarter game / loony game. I'm bringing in the loony because I need to represent the Canadians in here. So it's going to be loony time in this game for the Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons. But before I get to the loony, to determine my destiny, the loony or the quarter was 1-1. I'm hoping for better than 50% from the loony. But I need to know who you are picking in this game between the Atlanta Falcons, who are at home, and the Lamar Jackson Baltimore Ravens.
This is a tough game. This is one of those ones you go flip back and forth. Obviously, the loony is there for you to help you do that. I'm going with the Ravens. The Ravens are they got a little bit of a hot hand going. Lamar Jackson in the last 2 games has let a spark into this team. I get it. These 2 teams that they played are not very good, but you still have to give that confidence in a quarterback that's still playing an NFL team. Let's not forget, they're still playing NFL caliber talent. You still have to win these football games. And for a guy in his first 2 starts, he's led them to a 2-0 record and has sparked something of interest compared to the Joe Flacco-led Ravens. The Falcons, they're basically done. Their game against the Saints was kind of sad because they had opportunities to win that game, but they just kept turning the ball over at the exact worst time possible. And I just think Lamar Jackson's going to lead this team. They need to get that playoff push. They're still in it. The Falcons are not. Ravens have more to gain from this game. I'm going with the Ravens.
Okay, so a couple points before I get to the loony. For the Ravens, I think that if Lamar Jackson can do what he's been doing for the last couple of weeks, running the ball, if they can establish a good running game, overpower the Falcons, then they have a chance to win. They don't, they'll lose. I like Lamar as a passer, but I don't think he's quite there yet consistently to basically put it on his arm and win. And then you look at Atlanta, and this is the best offense that the Ravens have played in quite some time, and also probably the most talented team they've played in quite some time. The Ravens have beat up on some pretty bad teams in recent weeks. So that's the biggest reason why it scares me. I would go with the Ravens because of the factor of they're in the playoff mode. They need to win the game, but it's in Atlanta, and I'm not so sure. That's why I'm turning it over to the loony.
See what the loony gives us here.
All right, so we have of course, a head. You can't see it.
Can't see that.
And of course,
the tail, which is okay. Okay, I can see the tail. I saw the tail.
Here we go. Heads is Ravens. Tails is Falcons. I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't even know what we got.
I am picking the Atlanta
Falcons. Okay.
I am picking Ultra's Atlanta squad to pick up the victory. The Dirty Birds. Let's go. Dirty Birds.
Well, hold on.
The Baltimore Ravens.
You know what's weird? That one loss you had with the loony was picking the Falcons. Maybe this isn't a good strategy. I don't know.
I don't know, man, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right. We'll see.
Okay. The next matchup, we have the Dylan. Who predicted it?
Nobody predicted. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
The Denver Broncos defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I wish I could go back and rewind. You guys can watch it yourself. Go to Week 12 picks and predictions video. Rewind it. I predicted the Denver Broncos to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Dylan went Stephen A. Smith. He said it was blasphemous. He couldn't believe it. He thought it was ridiculous. So I am going with the Denver Broncos once again. I am the oracle of Broncos picks. The Broncos in this game are actually playing just their first road game of the season because they don't play on the road. No, seriously, they're not, but I'm just putting that out there. Okay, so the Broncos play the Bengals, and the Broncos are going to win because the Bengals have Hugh Jackson. I don't need to say much more than that. The Bengals have one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my entire life. And the Broncos are actually right now a Cinderella team, Dylan, to go to the playoffs because they got that huge victory over the Steelers. They have a solid defense. They have a pass rush. They can slow some teams down, and you're playing freaking Driscoll in this game. So I'm going with the Broncos.
Okay, this one's not a hard pick compared to last week's decision. I don't think this is the prophecy, if you will. Andy Dalton's on IR. The Bengals are DUNE, and the Broncos. They got 5 games remaining, and I think they can win they should win at least 3. And they've got 2 more matchups. I think the Chargers are one of them, and there's one other harder team that they got to play. I think it's the Browns is another really interesting matchup.
I feel like they do play the Browns. Yeah, they do.
But this is not one of those 2 matchups, so going with the Broncos on this one.
Okay. This is last game before the chat. Rams at Lions. Rams, fresh off a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to be rested, ready to go. I think Sean McVay is going to have a couple more plays to add to the playbook. I feel like this is going to be an experimental game for Mr. Sean McVay and the Rams offense. Maybe to, implement some more of their tight ends into the game plan, because they lost Cooper Kupp a couple weeks ago, and they've been operating with sort of some new weapons. So I feel like they want to implement those guys a little bit more. It's going to be interesting to see the Rams coming out of the bye. How focused are they? Are they ready to go right off the bat? The only way they lose this game is if they're not focused and they go down really big against the Lions in this game on the road. But other than that, the Lions have their second receiver is Bruce Ellington, who's been cut by 2 teams this year. Matt Stafford is playing probably his worst football in a long time, and they don't have Kerryon Johnson, I don't think. LeGarrette Blount is their lead guy. And I just don't know, man. It's rough for the Lions right now. I think Todd Gurley has a game. I think this offense really, is firing on all cylinders for the Rams, and the Rams will find a way. I also want to see when Talib is going to suit up, because I heard that he is scheduled to come back very soon.
This is an easy game. The only thing I could say in terms of the Lions is that it could be somewhat of a trap game. If they catch the Rams off on a hard week and that bye week doesn't come off easy for them. But again, if you have Kenny Golladay, Kenny Galladay's got to be your starting receiver, no question about it. But there's nobody else behind him. There's nothing. Marvin Jones on IR. Golden Tate's suffering in Philadelphia. Nice job, buddy. Well, I guess it wasn't your decision to go there, but still. The Rams are going to win this game pretty easily. Like you said, I think Todd Gurley's going to bounce back. He did not have the greatest game in that Chiefs explosive matchup. He was probably one of the worst starters in that game.
Which honestly makes no sense.
It really doesn't. But I think he'll come back for a big game, and it's pretty simple. Big time points for the Rams.
Okay, Dilly Vanilli, what's in the chat?
All right, scrolling up a little bit. Durkant is super confident that he's going to win his game on Friday night. He's pimping that out a little bit.
Dylan,
2 days away.
How did Vince McMahon's theme song go again?
No chance. That's what you got. No chance in hell.
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not gonna be there, unfortunately. But
not gonna be there again, Dylan. The people were missing you.
I got well. It depends on what time you guys do it. How about that?
What time are you around?
I have to go to work at 5, so anytime before that.
Kevin Durkant.
Central.
Let me know. Also, people in the super chat, donate to see who our teams are, or I don't know who our teams are going to be.
Or I will pick both of them.
Or Dylan will pick both of them, and I'll end up being some crap team because he's mean.
No, because I'll pick both of you to have shitty teams. All right, anyway. You guys got to donate. That's gonna be the case, or else
you guys can pick both teams. By the way.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Is Trubisky playing? There's some question if he's playing. Is he not playing?
I feel like he is.
I thought he wasn't practicing today. I thought that's what I heard from.
Let me look it up real quick.
Shefty. Let's see. Just going down a little bit. Party's got his Colts winning 34-20. We'll talk about them in a minute. Not there yet. The Saints 41-28 for Sebastian. Of course, Durkant's going to talk a whole lot of trash about my Cowboys because he doesn't give that respect. Let's see. Go Skittle 35-24 Saints. Of course, I'm expecting the Saints comments, but it is what it is. Um,
So apparently it's unclear because he was a limited participant in practice today. I
okay.
feel like he is going to play.
Well, what I heard from the Bears last week was that if it was the Sunday game, he would have played. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised it wasn't like he's not good right now. I don't know. Hopefully he plays. Sebastian's got a 24-23 win for the Falcons over those Ravens. But Turtle says the Falcons are DUNE, so he's going with the Ravens. Go Skittles got a Falcons win. Coach is saying the Denver defense is back. You know, Shelby Harris caught that interception in the end zone.
Honestly, I don't think the defense was overly impressive last week. I think the Steelers made a lot of mistakes. The Steelers were able to move the ball down the field. I think the true story in that game was just the Steelers like continue to screw up. And then also their defense was not very good. I thought the Broncos offense played pretty well.
That one throw by Roethlisberger to end it was one of the top 5 worst throws we've seen in the NFL all season.
Dylan, what do you think of that play by Washington where he jumped even though he didn't need to?
Jumped in the air, he super maddened it, and then dropped it as he was hitting the ground. I like the what's the word?
But he could have just ran.
I like the effort for it. I don't know if he was going to get it from his speed. I don't know. I like the effort.
I don't know, bro.
I like the effort. You got to catch it though. But man, that throw by Ben was one of the 5 worst throws I've seen in the NFL all season. And that includes Bortles. This throw is ahead of it, but the Bortles throw off the top of the helmet for an interception, that's probably number 1. But it was in the top 5 because Shelby Harris intercepted it, and even if it got past him, Chris Harris would have intercepted it because AB was already covered. So terrible decision. By the way, it just makes me laugh because they can't score in the red zone like in clutch situations. It just reminded me of the Patriots game last year, like specifically. I know it's Party Parts going with the Denver victory 26-16. Derek Kant says Denver's going to win by a lot. Sebastian 28-14. But Blake's got a the Bengals victory. That will be quite an up if that happens. Robot says Bengals are freaking garbage, and they are. They
have Hugh Jackson.
Did you see Demarius Randall handing him the ball after an interception? That was great.
That was the best thing that happened all weekend. And then Hugh Jackson actually took the ball.
And he's like, "Good job, son." Like,
my problem with Hugh Jackson is why does he need to be the center of focus all the? Why can't he just like during the warm-ups he's going around like dapping up and giving people hugs? Like, can you just like not?
He's got to be in.
Like, it's cool that you got a job and stuff. Like, that's cool. Like, but like, why?
He's a former head coach. He's got to support his team.
But that was my problem with him as a head coach too. He would come out on the press conference and make it all about himself. Can he ever just leave himself out of the conversation?
It's a different situation. Now he's not a head coach anymore. It doesn't matter.
He's killing me.
Well, let's not talk about him. He's not.
How did we lose Hugh Jackson and Blake Bortles in 1 week?
Thank God we did. Thank God we did. He's not even. Cody Kessler is getting the start. We'll talk about that.
My prayers were answered.
Rams big time victory. Everybody there. What do you mean, Dirk Can't? I'm screwing you. You said that you're screwing us. What do you mean?
Oh, because you said you'd pick 2 terrible teams for us.
Oh, somebody better donate. Just letting you know. Let's see.
No chance.
Do you think Buffalo could beat Miami? Yes.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. It's one of my question marks.
That was almost my loony game.
Well, that's gonna be my loony game, except I don't have a loony, so we'll find a quarter or something.
You can't steal my gimmick.
Well, I got to, bro. Oh, so you just retracted it. And that is Dirk Can says Chargers are the biggest NFL pretenders. What do you think?
The who?
Chargers.
I don't know about that.
Well, and then he just commented and said the Steelers are, so I don't know which one is it. Which one is it, bro? Is it both or one? You can't have both. They gotta be one. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
for chat one.
Upcoming is the Arizona Cardinals at the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers, I think that they had their relax moment this week, Dylan.
Their relax moment?
Yeah, did you see the Aaron Rodgers post-game conference?
I did not.
He said, we need to go to Arizona. We need to go back home, play Arizona, beat Arizona. We need to go wherever they play next, go there, beat them. Then we need to go there, beat them. Then we need to come back home and beat them. And honestly, it was pretty entertaining. But let me look at this schedule real quick.
I can give you the schedule because I have a tweet here that I liked that was very funny to me. Their schedule is Arizona, Atlanta, Chicago, Jets, and Lions.
Yes. I think they can win all those games.
Are you telling me they still have a chance to make the playoffs?
They do.
They don't. They literally don't.
They do if they win every game.
Okay, you want to hear this? They have to win all 5 of those games before that happens. The Eagles have to lose 1. The Seahawks have to lose 2. The Panthers have to lose 2. The Redskins have to lose 2. And the Vikings have to lose 3. 4 of those 5 things have to happen.
That could happen.
It can't. It's not possible.
I think it could happen.
They're not going to beat the Bears.
They might not beat the Bears, okay? But I'm just saying.
Which is why
that's the hardest game, but it's possible.
They're not going to beat the Bears.
I don't know, bro. I think they I'm not saying that
they won week 1.
I'm not saying that they will. I'm saying it could happen.
Well, any given Sunday, I guess, but this Packers team's not good. They're injured.
You know what doesn't make sense? Why aren't they good?
Because
Can you answer that question for me?
My answer is the coaching. The coaching is so ass backwards and hasn't gotten to this new wave of NFL, and every defense can be like, oh, I can see what's coming. I know what's going on. But Aaron Rodgers has put up stats. You know, he has 20 touchdowns to 1 interception. That should get you victories. But the coaching is so inept at making new and fresh ideas on the field that when it comes down to game time, defenses are going to be like, I can scout this play from a mile away.
I understand that, and I agree with that. I think that is probably the biggest reason. But what stopped them in the years past from making this happen? Why all of a sudden this year, it's going downhill? Like I don't quite understand that. Because I don't feel this team is much worse than the teams we've seen in the past. I don't think this team is much worse than the 2016 team. I actually feel like this team has probably a better defense than that team.
I think they do, but it's also riddled with injuries too. There's a lot of people out right now. They've got Randall Cobb's been out for weeks. Geronimo Allison's out for the year, which again, he's not great, but he's their number 2 receiver.
And they have a running game.
They finally got a running game.
I think the biggest things are the lack of creativity on offense, which you alluded to, the lack of trusted receivers, and the third and biggest thing that I don't think anyone's talking about is their pass protection. Because remember when the Packers were really, really good, everyone would talk about Aaron Rodgers, but their offensive line was really, really, really good and provided a lot of time for Aaron Rodgers. This year, that hasn't been the case. They haven't been bad, but they haven't been elite. And usually in the past, like that 2016 team, this was them. They had no defense, but they had good receivers, Aaron Rodgers, a great offensive line. And that allowed them to get to the NFC Championship.
And they have two good offensive linemen out of 5. So.
And this year, they have an average offensive line, a bit above average running game, below average receivers outside of Adams, and their defense is probably average. So they're just average.
And there's good players on their defense, like Jair Alexander. He's been one of my favorite players to watch on defense this year. But as a whole, this group is not – they're underperforming. And I feel like this year McCarthy needs to get the boot.
Honestly, could we say that if even even if it wasn't like a creative offensive coach, let's just say we switched McCarthy and Pete Carroll. Do you think that the Packers would be in the Seahawks situation right now?
I think they'd be contending for a wild card. I think they'd be in a better shape than they are right now.
Because you look at the Seahawks and you look at the Packers, what's the big difference in terms of talent on their roster?
Not really much. I mean, they're one of the better run games in the league, but they've got 3 running backs to do that. Their defense is middle of the road. Their offense is pretty much the same build system. They've got 1 great receiver, and the rest is all just let's figure out who we got this week. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know about the Pack. I just feel like some of it's McCarthy, some of it's Aaron, some of it's I also think that this is finally the year where we're seeing Aaron's personality come out in terms of just like he's just done with it. Like he's just done with all the shit.
Yeah, because every year he's like, all right, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this done. We're gonna finish this off. And then they never finish it off. Because they've been to 2 NFC championship games since the Super Bowl that they won, and they didn't win either of those. And then they lost talent the very next year. So,
bro, I gotta be the Redskins. They're trash. Are you kidding, Bodo? Somebody better outbid Bodo. The Redskins are trash. I gotta be Colt McCoy.
Well, you might be Alex Smith. Depends on if they updated it. I don't know. Better not cry.
And he gets the Panthers. He gets Cam.
You better not cry if you lose, though. I'm just letting you know that.
Cam's nice. Anyways.
McCaffrey's nice. Try stopping McCaffrey, too.
Anyways. Packers are somehow minus 14 points.
Holy shit.
They play at home in a must-win game.
They're going to win.
I'm picking the Packers. I don't know if they'll cover 14.
I don't know either. They're going to win. But if anything,
when you talk about Redskins are good in Madden. Sorry for interrupting. Who do they have?
Jordan Reed. He's still gonna have a quarterback to throw it to, though.
Josh Doxson, give me a break.
This is what I'm gonna say though. When I watched, I was the only one on here for the Sunday Night Football game between the Packers and the Vikings, and what I saw in that Packers game is the Packers didn't care. They put no heart onto that in that game. It was a divisional matchup where if you win the game, I think you're second place in your division. Yeah, you're second place in your division. You've got a better chance to get the wild card. But it felt like they didn't give a shit. So I have no confidence in this team. They're done. They are DUNE. They'll win this week, but they are done.
Classic Dylan. Okay, next game, Browns at Texans. This is maybe the most interesting under the radar game of the week. We have the Brownies, who are all of a sudden, you get rid of the worst coach of all time. And hey, Dylan, who knew? All of a sudden, you're actually pretty good when you have some talented players on your team. Oh, wow. Okay. Even if you upgrade from the worst coach of all time to a bottom 50 coach of all time, there's a huge difference between a guy that's won 3 games and 40. Okay? Jeez. Took you long enough. Imagine if the Cleveland Browns would have started the season with a new coach.
Might be making a wild card.
I'm not, no joke. Seriously. And they play the Texans, who are probably the second hottest team in football.
Yep.
This is going to be fun.
First time in NFL history, a team's gone from 0-3 to winning 8 straight. So,
how many teams have started 0-3 and made the playoffs?
Less than 10. I don't know exactly the number, but it's not double digits.
Okay. I'm picking the Texans just because they impressed me on Monday night, and I think they're a solid team, and I do think they're getting a little bit overhyped now. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, they can beat the Patriots and the Chiefs, and they could do it all. No, I still think they're a tier below those teams.
Well, they didn't beat the Patriots. But...
What?
I thought you said they beat the Patriots. I was like, they didn't do that.
No, I said they could. People are like, oh, maybe the Texans could beat the Patriots and the Chiefs and the Steelers, maybe. I don't know. But okay, they're getting a little bit overhyped, but they're very solid. Their defense is coming to play. Their pass rush has been on point. J.J. Watt is a monster. Jadeveon Clowney is playing great. All around, they're masking their injuries in the back end of their defense. And offensively, I think we saw a little bit more of the explosiveness that I needed to see personally. I've sort of been talking about how stagnant the offense has been, how kind of not just missing in big plays. Since Will Fuller got hurt, I really felt like they weren't really capable of making those big plays down the field. And last game they did against the Titans, so that was impressive. And Lamar Miller had a game and a half. This game, I just feel like the Texans, the Cleveland Browns, I still feel like their defense, specifically their secondary, isn't that great. And I feel like the Texans can make plays on them. I do think that the Myles Garrett and those guys up front will give them something to deal with in terms of a pass rush for Deshaun Watson. But and I like Mayfield. I like what Chubb's doing, but the Texans' run defense has been super consistent. They really haven't let anything up, and it's going to be mostly on Mayfield to make plays, and I just don't think they have what it takes to go into Houston and win this game quite yet. I do really like the Browns moving forward in terms of a team. They're getting better every single week, and this is a good measuring stick type of game for them this week, but this is a big one for the Texans to continue to win and maybe even get a bye. I mean, they're still in the conversation for that. So I think the Texans, this is a bigger game than the Browns, and they'll come out and win this game at home. Dylan?
What's the next holiday, Mitch? Is it Christmas, right? You know, a couple weeks away?
Christmas.
Right? All right, here.
Oh, no. I knew once you put your head under there, you were looking for something. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I was looking for something here. You know, I like to get in a little bit of the Christmas spirit. It's my favorite holiday of the year. But I'm not even picking the Browns. I'm picking the Texans, which is kind of weird. The thing is that my boy Baker Mayfield, he wakes up dangerous every Sunday. God gave him this ability to wake up every single Sunday feeling dangerous, and I appreciate that. He goes out there, he gives this team spirit. He's all in. He is in the system for the Browns, which I can guarantee not a lot of people want to be in the system for the Browns. But he said, I've given this opportunity. I'm going to do what I think is best. I'm going to try to lead this team to win football games. And he's done so. And thank God that Hugh Jackson's gone, because now he can finally unleash his greatness onto the NFL. That being said, we reacted to the Texans on Monday. I don't know if we really did, but we watched the game on Monday.
We were there.
We were there. We saw it. It was on our TV screens. And we saw a couple of good things. Lamar Miller. If you run right up the middle, apparently defenses won't tackle him because he wasn't there. It was a 97-yard run. It was the easiest thing they did all season. Deshaun Watson, he was looking effective. He was throwing the football very nice. He made some really good plays. DeAndre Hopkins is still a beast. And I think overall, just the Texans are going to be too strong against the Browns. I do want to cheer for the Browns. Maybe I'll cheer for them a little bit, but I think the Texans are just a little bit too strong. We saw that in the game against the Titans. I think I had them 7th in the power rankings. I had them ahead of the Steelers.
You had them pretty high.
Yeah, I had them ahead of the Steelers. And I think that's going to be still the case after this week. So I'm going with the Texans, even though I do have the Brown stuff on. I'll keep, I got it over here. I'll keep it on later on, but just want to bring it up today.
Okay. Next matchup, the Indianapolis Party Colts are taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And somebody keeps commenting, how do you pronounce Jaguar?
Jaguar. It's not Jaguar.
This has happened more than once. I feel like it's the same person, but nonetheless, somebody always comments on our videos that they don't like the way I say Jaguar.
That's how it's pronounced. It's not. What does he think it's pronounced? Jaguar. Jaguar. I
can't even say it.
It's not right.
Jaguar. I don't know. So, side point. The Jaguars went through an entire change in scenery. They got rid of their offensive coordinator, Hackett. He's gone. Quarterback, Blake Bortles. Finally, somebody woke up. He's gone. Okay. Leonard Fournette, suspended. Carlos Hyde, you're up.
Good luck.
This is not good news, Dylan. Jalen Ramsey might not even play. This is not good news. They are playing.
They bailed.
In one corner.
Mm-hmm.
The baller. Mr. Tough Guy. The best there is. the comeback player of the year.
That's true.
My freaking best fantasy player and favorite player, Blake Bortles. No, I just kidding. Andrew Luck taking on
Right back. I'm
the
listening.
most disappointing team in the NFL. I'm going with the Colts. Big time game. I think if no Ramsey, even worse news. Okay, I know Doyle's out. Ebron's stepping up. By the way, fantasy. Ebron, now that Doyle's gone, top 4 tight end in fantasy. Don't at me, okay? Don't at me. We have Andrew Luck's going to ball out. T.Y. Hilton going deep for touchdowns in this game. I think the Colts go into Jacksonville, beat the balls off of the Jaguars.
They have
They're
those?
win 40. They're going to put a 40 burger on them.
Woo!
40-16.
Oof.
Colts.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to start this gimmick here. You know, I got a whole bunch of the stuff here at the house, so I'm gonna put on the Colts hat. This is very hard to do with a headset on, but bear with me. The Jaguars are not good, folks. They're not good. They're garbage. After that loss against the Texans, I was like, I'm done. I am not doing this. This is not going to work. This team sucks.
Where are you getting these things?
I've got all
bandwagon city over here.
bandwagon. No, bro.
You're jumping.
I'm jumping from one team to the next. You're right, bro. You know what? You're right. You know what? I forgot about the Cowboys one. Where is it at? Okay. Yeah, I'll put the Cowboys one. You want me to put the Cowboys one back on? Here, I got you. I got the beanie for you too. We'll put them both on. Anyways, I'm just saying, man. The Colts are there. Look at them. Party Parts was right. We made fun of them when they were 1-5. He said, "Oh, they're gonna go 11-5." We're like, but yeah, I still won't say that. But they are in a very good place to get that wild card. They're playing well. Andrew Luck, I mean, straight out balling. This guy is a machine. The only reason I didn't have him higher or going on the season, I said, still had concerns about the surgery. He said, hold my beer. I'm going to tell you why I'm better shaped than you think I am. And Colts are going to win this game. Jaguars, they have no heart. They have no more balls because nobody's wanting to play on the team. And this is just a case of not striking while the iron was hot. You had one quarter to get to the Super Bowl. You lost, and that's why this team is losing as a result, because they're done. They're DUNE as not only this season, but as a franchise going forward if they continue to go down this path. So,
and honestly, Dylan, we got to question their draft history a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we really do. I mean,
like, not saying Leonard Fournette's a bad player. He's not. But you could have had Mahomes. You could have had Watson. You could have had Wentz. You could have had a lot of players. You could have had a lot of players.
A lot of players.
This year, you could have had Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it was in the last.
You could have moved up, got somebody better. You needed one position on your team. And now, because you didn't have that one position, yes, I am blaming this on Blake Bortles, because Blake Bortles is so bad that he completely derailed the entire football team and just created an entire shit show.
There's 3 offensive coordinators since he's been there. 3, and they're all gone. They've all been fired.
But everybody loved Hackett last year. Where are the people that were saying Blake Bortles is good?
There are people out there besides Blake Bortles facts. There are people.
Kevole last year.
Kevole. Well, you know how he was doing in picks last year, and you can see what he's doing this year. So,
I don't know, man. Them and the Lions fans, I don't see them anymore.
Oh, the Lions ones get me. I'm still gonna make a video about that end of the year, probably. I don't know. It's fun to me.
Okay. Next game.
The
almost loony game. The Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. I am going to go with Dylan to pick first. Go ahead.
All right, bro. I'm going Bills.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going Bills City, baby. Bills Mafia in the house. All right. First of all, my grandma used to travel a lot. She used to pick up NFL hats.
Bro, how do you have all these hats?
I got the whole collection, bro. I don't have a Dolphins one, so maybe that's why I'm picking the Dolphins. You know what? This is why the reason I'm going to pick the Bills. Look, the Bills' offense is not very good. You know, is a team. They're not one of these like amazing teams, but I see just a little bit of heart. Josh Allen running the ball like crazy last week. What was that? I'm not a fan of Josh Allen, but like if he keeps running for 120 yards every game, I might be a fan of him. He's trying to win them football games. They're not going to contend for anything, but Bills Mafia, they're freaking savages. And I think this week they want to be bigger savages by picking up this victory against a divisional opponent that I still think is overrated and will not make the wild card. I'm not a fan of the Dolphins. I'm sorry, Dirk Kent. I'm just not. Bills are going to win this game. Miami might be -4.5, but Bills Mafia, they want to get this dub against a divisional opponent. They're going to take the dub.
All right, I'm going to go opposite of Dylan here because this is my rule. All right, I've said it many times. I'll say it again. 2 crap teams. I'm taking the home team. I also like the home team in this matchup whenever they play because Miami, warm climate, Buffalo, cold climate. Whenever the other team travels to that place, it's a little different. And plus I think the Dolphins played pretty well last week against the Colts, and I think they're a better team with Ryan Tannehill. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think this will be a close game, and this was almost a loony game, but I'm willing to go opposite Dylan here and put the Dolphins on the line. Kevin Durcan, I better not be wrong.
You're going to be wrong.
The Chicago Bears take on the New York G-Men in New York. And so much for the G-Men making the run that I was hoping for. They totally choked. They were up huge against the Eagles.
And
lost because they didn't give the ball to Saquon in the second half.
Massive L. Massive L.
In this game, doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. I'm going with the Bears. Bears are a better team, more complete team. They can do it all, and they have a better coach. And that's where it begins and ends for me. The Bears are still looking to increase their lead in that division and still be the 3rd seed in the NFC and really clinch that up. So that's big. I do think this game could be a bit close, but I'm still going to go with the Bears. I don't think this game will be a blowout unless Eli plays like poop. And if that's the case and throws interceptions all day long, like we saw one of the worst ones I've ever seen last week, then the Bears will blow them out. But if not, then this will be an entertaining game. Dylan.
I don't have a hat for this one. Bears are going to win this one. No question about it, man. The Giants are... what's the term you use? Poop. They are poop. Again, this is a team that's wasting talent. You have Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham Jr., who on any other team would help this team get to the playoffs. I'm just saying.
So, yeah, let's actually go through that. If Odell and Saquon were on the Ravens, they would make the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Atlanta Falcons.
Absolutely.
Bengals.
Is Dalton still the quarterback?
Yeah.
Then yes. As a wild card.
Broncos.
Yes.
Lions.
Oh, yeah. Matthew Stafford to OBJ. Give me that all day.
Packers.
Yes. Bro, again, Aaron Rodgers is going to throw that deep ball.
Cardinals.
That's a tough one.
David Johnson and Saquon?
You got to stop one. You stop one guy, then you got the other guy going 150 yards.
I don't know. That would be interesting.
That would be an interesting scenario.
Browns.
Honestly, yeah. I think they're a wild card team. They're playing well as it is.
Okay, here's the one. Jaguars.
Now, here's the question. Would Blake Bortles fail them as much as Eli has failed them?
I don't know.
if I was to do a preseason and I would pick them, I'd probably still have them in the playoffs. But I don't know. I can't trust them.
Bills.
Honestly, they still be fighting for a 6th seed. Yeah. I think so. I think they can. I think they could. Their defense isn't too bad.
Dolphins.
No. I'm just kidding. I think they're in a better position. Yeah, I think they're close to a playoff seed, I would say.
Okay, Bears, obviously. Bucks.
Yeah. If Jamie shows up more than half the season, then yeah, I think so.
Panthers.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Raiders.
Ooh. I think, you know what, honestly, I'm going to say yes, and here's why. I think no, listen.
Are you saying that the Giants are the worst?
I think the Giants are the worst team in football right now. I'm being perfectly honest with you. Well, okay, no, I think the Raiders are the worst team. But here's why I think this would be different. I think if we were starting off the season, right? Let's say if we were starting off 2018. Yeah. This is Gruden's first year. He's got OBJ and Saquon on his team in a first of 10-year deal. He's going to want to make them winners. He's going to want to give them something. I think everything fell apart when they realized they didn't have the talent to make any major run. But if they had those two guys, I think they could. I seriously think they could.
What about the Jets?
I don't know. I can't trust Darnold. I'm going to say no.
I feel like that's like the most similar team.
I think it is. Yeah.
To the Giants.
To the Giants. I'll say no. I think there's about 5 teams out of what you just said.
Titans.
You said Titans?
Yeah.
Yes.
49ers.
Yeah, well, if Jimmy G's the quarterback, yes. If Mullins is the quarterback, no.
Redskins.
If Alex Smith is the quarterback, yes. If Colt McCoy is the quarterback, no.
I still think if Colt McCoy is the quarterback, yes.
Really? You think, wow.
Yeah. Eagles.
Yes. Carson Wentz.
Well, those are all the teams outside the playoffs. So.
Okay, so I'll say 5 teams could not benefit from having
You didn't even say 5. You said like 2.
Okay. 2 or 3 could not benefit from having OBJ and Saquon. Every other team.
They wouldn't make the playoffs.
They wouldn't make the playoffs. Every other team's making the playoffs from them.
Wow.
I'm just saying. That's just me, bro.
Giants are savage.
They're fucking garbage.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Did I even pick? No, Bears. Bears.
Well, I already knew that. Oh. Panthers at Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Bucks. You know that Jameis Winston's going to throw for 300. That's almost guaranteed. But is he going to throw a pick 6? That's the true question. Milli Vanilli, who's winning this game and why?
I've got the Panthers, baby.
What?
I've got the Panthers winning this game. This is not a very good hat, and it's also not staying on my head. Yeah, let's go with that. The Panthers are going to win this game. This is a nice divisional matchup. I like divisional matchups. They provide something a little bit of different kind of game and flow than other kind of games. And, I just – C-Mac was going off last week. I mean, he was freaking crazy. Down the field, getting big-time yardage. I think he caught, 11 passes last week for 105 yards and a touchdown, and then had 100 and something rushing yards for a touchdown as well. Guy was going off. The Panthers have lost their last 3 games, and I'm not 100% confident they're going to make the playoffs at this point. I'm still on the edge about that, but if they can pick up a victory against the Bucs, it's going to help out their chances quite a bit, and I still can't trust Jameis, so I'm picking the Panthers.
This comes down – I actually think this is going to be a really close, entertaining game. I think it'll be high scoring. But I'm going to go with the Panthers because they're the team in desperation mode. Yeah. So that's why I'm picking them. They should have probably won the last game, and they probably should have won the game before that as well. But they've just not been able to put it all together, and that's why they lost. This week, the Bucs defense is just so bad. I think the Panthers can still control the game in this one and win, and their defense is a little bit better. But the Panthers defense has been playing really, really bad, and nobody's really talking about that, specifically the secondary. And some of their coaching decisions have been really off. Ron Rivera has been going for 2 at dumb moments and 4th downs, and their offense last week was awesome. Like the Seahawks couldn't stop them last week, but they couldn't stop the Seahawks. So that was pretty much the game. This week, I like I said, high scoring game, but the Panthers in desperation mode will find a way to win this game. And I trust Cam more than I trust Jameis at the end of the day. So I'm going to go with the Panthers. And to answer your question, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs because I think the Seahawks and the Vikings will make the playoffs.
Okay. Interesting.
Next game, Chiefs and Raiders. Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Okay. After that, Jets at Titans. Who are you going with here, Dilly Vanilli?
Okay, the only thing I want to say about the Chiefs game is that Eric Berry just came back to practice today, so it's going to help out their defense big when they come back into December.
When is he coming back, though? Are they going to wait till the playoffs, or?
They said they want him to bring. I heard sometime in December that he could see field, but I'm thinking more playoff time.
Maybe the game against the Chargers in a couple of weeks.
Maybe
because that's going to be a big game.
Mm-hmm. That just kind of depends on we'll see. I think he could be in time for that. Jets Titans. Okay, so I really don't like picking Titans games because one week they go out there and like, all right, we're a good football team. We're strong. We're playing against good competition. And then the next week they shit the bed on national television. What's the issue? Like, I don't understand what to do with this team. Like, I just want it to be excommunicated from picks for the rest of the year. The Jets are the Jets. They also have a quarterback that
Jets
lose. Even though I do have a Jets hat.
Are you kidding?
This is a very old cap. This is old. Yeah, look. There's a belt buckle on the back. Who wears that anymore? Dad caps.
Actually, a lot of people. It's a
dad cap fashion. It's not a very sports kind of hat.
No.
But I'm not picking the Jets. I'm picking the Titans. I do not like Darnold. I still will not like Darnold. Early on in that game against the Patriots, I'm like, the Jets are doing something. They scored the first touchdown.
Jets are always competitive with the Patriots for a while, at least.
Yeah, they try. They really try.
Yeah.
But then their incompetence at every level just kind of shows. And they just lost. They really – how is it that you stop – hold on a second. They were 3rd and 2. The Patriots were 3rd and 2. They got to stop. Yeah. A Patriots penalty, and you accept it? You give Brady another chance to throw it, and then he throws a touchdown to Gronk? Well, thank you, because that helped me win my fantasy game this week. But that makes no logical sense.
This is how I knew the Jets were going to lose. It was 3rd and 3. I think the game was like tied. McCown throws a go route 30 yards down the field on 3rd and 3.
Nice.
Out of bounds.
It's smart. It really is smart. Not 2nd and 1 when you do deep plays, but fucking 3rd and 3 when you just could do a freaking slant route for 5 yards and a first down.
And the funny thing is they did it against Gilmore, who gave up a total passer rating of 1.
1.
His passer rating against was 1.
That makes no sense. You're throwing to the best cornerback they have. He's like one of the best in the game right now. Like, stop. Don't be stupid. I like McCown, I like the boy. He's from Texas and all that, but
McCown's not that bad, but still, like,
he's not. But I'm gonna pick. I'm picking Titans.
Okay, I'm picking the Titans. They're at home. They're still in the conversation for the playoffs, and their defense at home is a lot better. I think they'll be able to get a pass rush on the Jets, and the one thing that I don't like about the Jets is they can't get a pass rush, so that's big. And Mariota will have some time and feel comfortable enough to make some plays. And when he does, like we saw on Monday night, at times he can make some throws. By the way, another point to why the completion percentage is bull crap. Okay, Mariota, check his completion percentage in that game, and they got blown out. He had 1 incompletion.
He won. I think it was a drop.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Let's go to the chat, and then we'll get to the big games.
Big games. First of all, everybody's calling me a bandwagoner.
Which is true, because you have all those hats.
I've collective hats over the years. Why can I not collect hats?
Not allowed.
It is allowed. I'm going to continue to do so. Well, actually, I don't wear a whole lot of hats anymore. Those were old hats from back in the day. But it was like that one stream we did on NHL. I stacked all those hats on top of each other. I'm going to keep doing that. That was smart. Sebastian with the power rankings. 1 Saints, 2 Rams, 3 Chiefs, 4 Patriots, 5 Bears, 6 Texans, 7 Chargers, 8 Steelers, 9 Seahawks, 10 Colts.
To have the Texans above the Steelers and Chargers is balls.
I did not put them ahead of the Chargers.
Honestly, I feel like the reason why he's doing that is because of the fact that the Chargers and Steelers are one of them's gonna lose this week, so it makes him look good. I think that's what he's doing.
That's smart. That's smart things, you know? Big brain right there. I like it.
It's a Dilly Vanilli approach of just putting the teams with the best records in a row.
That's not even what I thought.
I looked at this and I was like, what is odd about this? Oh,
I didn't even think about it, honestly. I really did. Wait, no, I had the actually, I don't remember. It is what it is. Party Perk's going with the upset for the Brownies, 33-27 in overtime. Which would be, I think, the 5th or 6th Browns game in overtime this year. That's freaking crazy. Bodo's going with the Texans victory in that game. We'll talk about Vikings Patriots, guys. That's a big game. That's probably coming up next, but we'll talk about it. Blake's got a Vikings victory. Interesting enough. Let's see. Free flow says Texans are better than the Steelers. So, you know, some people coming around to that opinion. Here comes all the Browns comments. Lamar Miller is elite. I know that comes from Turtle, but it's not true. I mean, if he's going to run up the middle and get 97 yards per run, I guess he's elite. But, yeah, that's just pretty easy. More like
no one else wants to super chat, so I don't have to be the Redskins.
Be the Redskins. Woo woo woo. That would be funny. Colts are going to win 36-14, says Bodo.
I think we should do Patriots versus Dolphins.
What's 36? Like, how would you get 36? Then you would have to score
36 points?
Yeah, so you have to score 3 touchdowns and 5 field goals, or you have to go for a 2 at some point.
You have to go for a 2-point.
I don't. But if they're up by 20.
Or you could get to 30 and then get 2 field goals.
But 30 would be 3 field goals before that.
Yeah, so how many field goals would you need to get to?
You'd have to get 5 field goals.
You could go 4 touchdowns, a safety, and 2 field goals.
Okay, yeah. When I start picking safeties in games as part of my points, I'm getting desperate.
I've seen 36 before. It's not that
I've seen it, but predicting it is a different thing, you know? It's a little bit more difficult.
That's the boomer.
Boomer. I'm looking here. Again, all the Dilly comments. I'm not a bandwagon, bro. I just have hats. I don't know why this is an issue. Reuben Foster is with the Redskins. Yeah. He'll be lasting for about 48 hours.
I'm so confused. Did they sign him because they thought he was, like, not guilty? Or, like, I'm confused.
I guess.
Like, why would you sign him if he's guilty? It doesn't make sense.
Well, this is like the same thing. Well, not technically the same thing, but it's like what the Seahawks are doing with what's it, boy?
No, it's different. It's a lot different.
It's a different scenario, but one guy's going to jail in January, so he's going to prison. Yeah. I still don't think he should be in the NFL right now. I don't even know why the NFL allowed that to happen. Like, why would you allow this to happen? I feel bad because we did that live stream, that live reactions to when he got drafted. And we're like, if this guy just keeps his shit together, he's gonna be a good player. And then he didn't keep his shit together. So thanks for that, buddy. Bortles just had a wrong system. Well, I know that's a joke, but nice try, Go Skittle. Sebastian's got a victory for the Dolphins, 25-17. A lot of people are saying the Dolphins are garbage. They're making fun of Dirk Kant over here.
I don't know if they're garbage. They're bad.
They're bad. I don't know if they're garbage. There's like 3 or 4 teams I would consider garbage.
Garbage.
Giants, Jaguars, Raiders, 49ers, and Cardinals. So 5. Okay.
Garbage. You say the Bengals?
No.
Garbage.
Okay. They're pretty garbage. 6. But Miami's not in there. They're just above. What is the level above garbage? Bad.
Trash.
Trash. Trash is garbage.
Trash.
Trash. I guess in NFL sense, it's a different term. Cardinals are the worst. Durkan says. Which duo is? Wait. Is that right? Better Brown. I don't understand this comment. It says better Brown and OBJ with Connor and Barkley. Yes. Which I don't understand what that means.
What?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Is that English?
I have no idea.
I don't speak Cantonese.
Cantonese. Deshaun says Seahawks are going to beat the 49ers 27-20. Trying to get that wild card. You right? Bodo says the Panthers are done. D-U-N-E. Let's see. I do not have a Miami Heat hat. That's garbage. I have Mavericks hats. Basketball is not a lot of hats. I got college teams. I'll go to college next if we do college pick 'em. You're freaking. But Cam Newton is the GOAT in Madden. Yeah, exactly. You're getting.
Yeah, I'm so outmanned here. Somebody super chat. Support the cause. Support Dilly Vanilli's hat collection.
Yes, get me more hats. And people are taking the Seahawks, and we'll talk about that game very soon. But that is it.
All right, Seahawks 49ers.
Oh, there it is.
I'm going with the Seahawks because they're better, and they don't have whoever plays quarterback.
I was about to say great analysis
for the 49ers. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Matt Breida goes off. This team's still garbage.
Oh, garbage.
And their defense gives up too many big plays, which Russell Wilson really likes. And to top it all off, the game's in Seattle.
Oof. Yeah, Sea Chickens are winning. They're getting hot at the exact right moment. Like exactly the right moment. They needed to get hot. They got hot. They're going to be the team that doesn't have anybody right now. Excuse me. And I think it's going to be a pretty easy victory for the Seahawks. Kind of sad at the state of how this game has gone over the last couple of years, because these two teams were like on fire in 2012 and 2013, playing for the NFC Championship game, and now it's just this. So I'm sad about that, but Seahawks win.
All right. The Minnesota Vikings take on the New England Patriots, and I feel like before the season, this was probably one of the 10 to 15 most anticipated games of the season.
It was on the top 10 list.
Game that does not happen very often. And Tom Brady is playing one of the teams that he is undefeated against.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yes. Dylan, who are you picking in this showdown in the, I guess, for some people, the afternoon slate?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you picking here?
When we did our top 10 games of the year in the preseason, I had this on the list. I had this at number 10. I was very excited about this matchup, considering what I thought these two teams were going to be. Now, have they performed to that level? Yeah. Vikings are a little bit under that level, just maybe a hair, and the Patriots are 8-3. This is an interesting matchup. I'm really looking forward to seeing this game. I think we're going to live stream this, right? We agreed that?
Yes. Okay,
we are live streaming this game, Patriots Vikings. I'm interested to see what bad man Kirk can bring to the table, because last week, under the pressure, under the lights, that myth, can he do it on prime time? He went out there and threw 3 touchdowns, had a very good game. The run game is still garbage. I mean, just in the pits right now. I like Dalvin Cook. He's a good talent, but he has not gotten his flow back since he's come back. I don't know what it is. Mike Zimmer can call all the runs that he wants, but that run game is not there. The receivers are still very good. Their defense, I'm questioning. I don't know if Xavier Rhodes is playing. I know he got hurt at the end of the
I don't think he is.
Which is huge. That's huge. That's going to be a big miss. Patriots come off of a good win against the Jets. They still have their game going. Sony Michel, I think, has been a very good piece, something that they need in the run game. And Burkhead, I know, just came off of IR. I know that won't help in this game, but that'll help their run game going forward. Gronk, 100% healthy. That's huge. They need that.
I don't know about 100, but he's healthy.
Well, he's off the injury report.
Thank God.
He's off the injury report, so I can finally fucking start him in fantasy and not have to worry about it every day. He's healthy. You know, he only had 3 catches, but he had a big-time catch in the end zone catch, the one I talked about earlier. That helps out their offense, obviously. Their defense led by Stephon Gilmore, I think is doing what it needs to do to win big-time games. And this is a big-time matchup between 2 teams. One team, obviously, still trying to get in that first-round bye kind of situation. And one team that's still trying to make the playoffs, still trying to get that wild card because they're probably not going to win their division. I'm going to go with the Patriots. In the preseason, I did pick the Vikings to win this matchup, but I just think the Patriots are just stronger. I think they're a stronger, more complete team. I think Kirk will put up a good game, and I think this will be close. Do you know what the minus is on this game?
5 for the Patriots.
I could see it. I mean, I could see it as an even closer game than that. But right now, I'm going to go with a 31-27 score for the Patriots. I think it's going to be a fun matchup, but I'm going to take the Patriots.
Okay, so I think one of the key things when the Patriots, you know, they went into Tennessee and they lost, and I think a lot of people overreacted. And I think there's a lot of reasons why they lost that game. First off, they just didn't come out to play. But, you know, they were missing Gronk. They were basically missing Sony Michel because he was definitely not healthy. They were missing Trent Brown. They were missing Shaq Mason. They were missing a lot of their offense. And it seems like when the Patriots have the full complement of weapons, they can be one of those top 3 to 4 offenses in the NFL. Because when they have had Michel, Gronk, Edelman, Gordon on the field, they've scored 38, 38, 43, 38, and 27. So they've been able to score with those players, specifically even more so at home. And they play this game at home. And for any team, the Patriots are undefeated at home. I think their real tough spots have come on the road. And in this game, I think the Patriots will have a very successful offensive attack. And I think this is going to be one of those games that it's not on prime time, but it's on national TV. So I feel like a lot of people will be watching, and it will be one of those games. I've seen it before, specifically against the Vikings, actually a couple of times. And I know this Vikings team's different from some of the other teams they've played, but I feel like this is going to be a really big Tom Brady game. I think he's going to have a really good game, and I think it's going to be a lot on his shoulder to win it in quick passing and slicing those zone coverages. And without Rhodes on the field, I think the Vikings are going to give up a big game in the passing game. I think the Patriots defense has played well enough. It's had its moments where it's been poor, but even in that game against the Titans, I mean, a lot of that was field position and their offense not playing good complementary football. When their offense is playing the way the offense can play, the defense is good. Like, they make plays. They can get a pass rush at times. We saw it against Green Bay. We saw it against the Jets. We saw it against Buffalo. We saw it even at times against Kansas City. So they can play defense quite well. They're probably a little bit above average, in my opinion, probably somewhere between like 13, 15 defenses in the league. And I think that they'll be good enough against the Vikings. I think the big thing again with the Vikings is that their offensive line is not very strong. And I think the Patriots and the offensive lines that they have played that are not very good, they've taken advantage. A couple of them that come to mind are the Packers and the Texans, which were both games at home. So I think that's going to be similar. Of course, Thielen and Diggs are going to be tough to handle, but I think that the Patriots do have, I think they will have a good scheme coming in. And I'm interested to see how they do cover these guys, just because they have a big game coming up with the Steelers, which I think is going to be very similar to facing these two receivers. So I think the game will be 31-20 for the Patriots. I think the Patriots will have control of the game, but the Vikings will score a little bit near the end. And they'll stay in it, but the Patriots will sort of always have the control of the game. It will be one of those games. So I think this is going to be a pretty good game. I'm looking forward to it as a Patriots fan, and I just want to see them come out and do their business and handle business here against a team that I think is good, but I don't think they're great. So I think the Patriots will win and cover the spread as well. So let me know what you guys think about that one, because I know there's a lot of Patriots fans in here. Okay. So we covered the Seahawks game. Sunday Night Football, Dylan. Chargers at Steelers. I know that I believe you had the Chargers ahead in the power rankings, but they do play on the road in Pittsburgh. So how do you feel about this game? Because this is a huge AFC game in terms of seeding, because the Steelers really need this to stay in the hunt for a bye, and the Chargers need this to stay in the hunt for Kansas City in the AFC West.
I'm going with the Chargers, baby. The Steelers, I mean, they just disappointed me, man. They disappointed me in that game against the Broncos. I'm expecting something. The Ben Roethlisberger Juju 97-yard touchdown connection. But I mean, they need more than that to win football games. That being said, I would have picked the Steelers if they had won last week, but I just don't like how they came off in that game. And Big Ben, like I said, threw one of the worst throws of the year to end that game. The Chargers, they're missing Melvin Gordon right now. I think Austin Eckler is slated to start. I'm pretty sure about that. But Phillip Rivers has been thrown out of his mind. This is an underrated MVP candidate right here. He was 25 for 25 at one point last week. I get it. It's the Cardinals. I understand that. He will not do that this week. But he has been playing really solid football at a time when his team needs to play very solid football. This is a guy that obviously has so much passion that you see him every week. Yeah. And he's finally getting a team that actually can help him win games. Prime time. They're 7-3 against the Steelers. Wait, no, 8-3. I'm sorry. Yeah, 8-3, right? Yeah, 8-3.
Right now they're 8-3.
Yeah.
I thought you were giving me their primetime schedule.
No,
primetime record, sorry.
No, actually, I don't know.
Chargers don't play in primetime a lot. They should, though.
They're
exciting.
This is the first all year, I think.
I think you know what it is. It's because specifically if they're at home, they can't be at home on primetime because their stadium is so embarrassing that they can't.
Oh. I was going to go with the time difference, but okay.
No.
No, that's not true either. I guess the Rams play whatever. I just think this is going to be a fun matchup. We could see this in the playoffs, too. No, don't forget, this could be a future playoff matchup.
This could be 4 versus 5.
Mm-hmm. I just think the Chargers are the more complete team that I think is going to get it done. Joey Bosa is back for the Chargers. I think he's put that pressure on the offensive line of the Steelers and make Big Ben throw some balls that Big Ben's not going to like to throw. And I'm just really excited. Like Sunday Night Football has been really good this season. I'm expecting this one to be another banger. I'm going with the Chargers. I'm giving the score 34-31. I think it'll be a very close game, but I'm going Chargers.
Ooh, a high-scoring game. All right. I see how it is.
Uh-oh. No. Oh, my God, no. He's going to break his arm. He's going to break his arm.
I'm going with the Steelers.
What? Oh, my God. What? No, you can't. No, stop. You can't do that. You just wind it up and then, no. Why? What's going on through your head? You didn't even pick the Steelers against the Broncos last week. Now you're picking the Chargers to lose to them? Blasphemous. What's going on?
This is my thought.
Okay.
I don't trust the Chargers to win this big game.
What?
I need to see it before I can believe it.
Bandwagon. You can't jump off the bandwagon.
I need to see it before I can believe it. I've seen, as long as it's not the Patriots, I know the Steelers can beat good teams at home on Sunday Night Football. The Chargers without Melvin Gordon against the Steelers, I don't know. I know Phillip Rivers is awesome. I love him, and he's playing great. This game will be really intriguing, but I'm going with the team that's been in these games more often. I'm going with the coach and not necessarily the quarterback, but the coach that's been there more often. And I think home field is a big deal for the Steelers. So I'm going to go with them. And I just think the Chargers might be a little bit too one-dimensional without Gordon to win this game. As much as I like Austin Eckler, I feel like they really need Gordon in this one. I think it will be down to the wire, a really entertaining game. But I'm going to take the Steelers because I just can't trust the Chargers quite yet in this scenario. I think this is a big game to see if the Chargers can do it, but I'm not quite there yet with them.
You just turned heel. You just turned heel on your team, your second team, bro.
It hurts my heart right now. My heart is pounding, but
blasphemous. Okay, now
I think it's the Chargers. I think it's the Steelers game.
I want them to win now. They got to get the dub now. Chargers got to get the dub. All right.
I will be happy if they do.
You can't celebrate it though. You are.
I don't care. I'll still celebrate it, but I'll be impressed because I'll be like that proud guy, like, wow, they did it. That'll be me. Like, they did it.
Wow, they did it. Woo! You're just expelled from cheering this week.
Yes. Okay.
That's how I go.
Monday Night Football, Redskins at Eagles, Dylan. A NFC East matchup. I will give it to you, the NFC East expert. Go ahead.
Can we not watch this game? Can this game skip into existence? I hate both of these teams. I don't hate the Redskins as much as I do the Eagles. The Eagles. I didn't watch the Eagles game. I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody as this game was going on, but they picked up a comeback victory against Eli Manning. Congratulations. The Redskins. I saw them first-handed against my Cowboys, and they put up a decent fight until 3 interceptions later, and the defense couldn't hold what the Cowboys were bringing. The reason I don't like this game is, even if it's not from an entertaining standpoint, one of these teams has to win, and it will help their record going forward in the NFC East. Because one of these teams will be 6-6. Well, actually, if the Eagles win, both teams will be 6-6, and if the Cowboys lose, all 3 of these teams will be 6-6. Yay! I'm excited for that to happen.
Wait, the Eagles will be 6-6?
Yeah, they're 5-6 right now.
They can still win the division?
They can still theoretically win this division. Okay. I still think the Cowboys win this division. It's just a really bad game when they're playing the Saints. It's hard to do. I'm going to pick the Eagles. The reason I'm saying this is because of this. I don't think Colt McCoy – you know what? Colt McCoy's biggest win came on Monday Night Football. I might have to think this one over. This is tough. I mean, I don't like either team
I'm just going to say my pick right now.
Who do you think?
I'm going with the Eagles because they're at home. I really hope that the Cowboys don't fuck up and lose this division, man.
I'm just saying it's only going to be tied for 1 week because we got to play this.
If the Eagles, the way they've played this year, make the playoffs, I swear to God.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. I just don't think.
I'll be cheering for the Redskins, but I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. I don't like either of these teams in this matchup. Can we just skip this game, please? That's what I'll go with.
All right. Let's go to the chat, and then we'll say goodbye.
Guys, this is your last opportunity to change the Redskins for Mitch, who has to play them.
Come on, don't let me be the Redskins. Come on, guys. Super chat that.
I'm going to laugh if you do.
Okay. Yeah, super chatted. Or you can let Dylan decide.
If you pay more than $5.01, then I can pick it as well, if you don't want to. Richard Sherman, yeah, he's going to play back in a 49ers matchup. What are you doing?
$5.01.
$5.01. He's going to be playing as a 49ers player against the Seahawks. That'll be interesting this time around. Better trash talker than Joe and Ramsey. He at least backed it up. Yeah, Deshaun, I'm really looking forward to college football this week. It's college football championship week, so I'm excited for that personally. Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama. Those are going to be good games. But if Alabama loses and still makes the playoff, I will hate the playoff committee. I will absolutely hate the playoff committee.
There's
They're
no
not fair.
chance Alabama's losing.
I said if. They probably won't, but if they lose, the playoff committee is sucking Alabama's you-know-what, and it's not fair. It just won't be fair.
Why? Why can they not lose?
Wait, what?
Why you saying that they not top 4 if they lose?
Because it's the same. If Clemson loses this week in their championship game, they're going to be out of the top 4. It's the same thing if any other team in the playoff in the top 4 loses.
Is everybody undefeated?
Clemson's undefeated.
Is every other team in the top 4 undefeated?
I don't think so.
Then I feel like it's still up because I think, honestly, even if Alabama loses, which I think is highly unlikely, because of their dominance this year, I feel like they would still deserve a top 4 spot, even if that's 4th.
Okay, so no, I'm sorry. Clemson and Notre Dame are still. Wait, is Notre Dame still undefeated? I think they're undefeated. Yeah, they haven't lost yet.
Notre Dame, I think, is the toughest game for Alabama personally.
So let's say Clemson and Notre Dame wins, right? Mm-hmm. They would. Okay, so let's say this is Alabama theoretically.
So you're truthfully saying that Alabama is not a top 4 team, even if they lose.
Listen, Clemson and Notre Dame are in because they're undefeated, right? That's fair if Alabama loses. Georgia beats them, so you have to put Georgia ahead of Alabama.
So Alabama would be 4th.
It's Alabama, Oklahoma State, or Ohio State. I think it's a race. You're not going to give the same treatment because, again, if Clemson loses or Notre Dame loses, they're out of the top 4.
I don't know about that.
I will bet it. That's what happens.
Bet.
If either Oklahoma or Ohio State wins their game,
I'm just telling you right now, Alabama's winning the national championship.
They're probably, but I'm just saying if they lose that SEC championship game,
I think you're just mad because Alabama wins all the time.
No,
I still think even if they lose, they deserve to be top 4.
I'm saying it's still up for debate. I still think that the playoff committee will always favor with Alabama because they're going to make the most money for them, of course. Brady versus Cousins, Mitch. Yeah, you gotta love that matchup. You like that matchup?
I like that.
Like that. I'm just going a little bit. Yeah, we got some stupid comments in here. Graham says the Sunday night game is going to be a banger. Chargers and Steelers with huge playoff implications. That is true. Very true. Let's go down a little bit. Sebastian's got a Chargers 28-21 victory. Very interesting. Robot was going for the Chargers, but I mean, I don't even know if he can do that this week. That's just I'm mad. Can't even let that happen. You broke the chin. Broke it up.
Just this week.
Let's see what else. Is there anything else in here? Ghost Skittle says you turned heel. You turned heel. Total heel. Got another couple Steelers picks in here as well. Sports Fury's doing Sunday Night Football on Twitch. Interesting. Somebody's got to hold it down on YouTube. That's weird. Oh, and then they're going to do Monday Night Football on YouTube. Okay. Interesting.
Counter.
Yeah, so now Sunday's open. The Sunday gate is open. Nobody cares about this Eagles game. Nobody cares. Jesus Christ, 70-57. I mean, A&M's 74-72 victory over LSU was crazy last week.
I thought that was a college basketball score.
It was ridiculous. I was playing some Madden, and I'm like, A&M wins in 7 overtimes. Why didn't I watch this game? Kind of cheese. Hey, we got a big victory. That was huge. Azid says the Vikings are the most overrated team in football. I disagree.
Maybe.
Party Part says I'm better than Goff. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And then he says you look like Goff.
I don't think so. Adam Lefkoe looks like Jared Goff.
Adam Lefkoe.
Seriously, look it up.
The Daniel Tosh looks like who's that? He's the freaking. He used to be the Alabama offensive coordinator. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but it's like strikingly similar. All right, that's it.
Dylan, we're gonna end with this. The biggest game of the week is me versus Kevin Durkant.
Oh,
Friday night.
Friday night.
What's your prediction and score?
You got the Panthers. You have the Redskins. You have like 2 players that I can rely on. He has at least 3. I know you beat him once. I'm going to go with the 21-20 win. It's so close. It could be close. But I'm going to go with the bro. I got to go Panthers. He just has the more talent. I'm going to say this. If he loses, he will take the biggest L on this channel. You have all biggest L. It'll be Kevin Clant, okay? Because you got to put it in the middle of the name. It doesn't really fit your name well. It'll be terrible if you lose against the Redskins. I'm just picking them because they got the better team. But I think you can win.
I'm gonna say this. I'm guaranteeing a victory on Friday.
A Joe Namath guarantee?
What are you throwing these things? Yes, Joe Namath guarantee. I will beat Kevin Durkant on Friday night. You guys have to watch this. Redskins, Colt McCoy, Mega Bowl, Friday. Mega Bowl. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more NFL content from Mitch and Dilly Vanilli. We are the Bottom Line View. Enjoy the games. We'll see you this weekend for the streams. Peace.